This is our Group 10 evaluation question 7. I'm Alex Hanshew.
I'm Dan Wiles.
I'm Molly Gray.
In our brief for our preliminary task, we had to include 2 lines of dialogue.
Look, you should have thought that before you laid hands on my fiancée.
Opening a door and considering the 180-degree rule, as well as continuity editing. We also had to experiment with other camera techniques to help differentiate our piece. For example, low-angle shots, handycam, high-angle shots, etc. But overall, it's primarily for us to get used to using a camera and editing software. Even though we were more interested in making a horror film, we decided to choose the action genre for our preliminary task, as we felt filming in school would restrict us from making a horror film effective, especially as we filmed during daylight hours.
We produced our storyline before we started filming and chose our location in school to fit this narrative. We decided on the idea of a chase scene for our piece because these kind of scenes are normally at the climax of action films, meaning that we can make the piece more exciting even though it's set in a school. We felt that using a long corridor was suitable for a chase scene because we could get quite a wide variety of shots. We used static shots and handycam in our piece so we could get both professional and characters' point of view shots. We used a fade to black transition right at the end of the narrative.
However, we got the chance to make an effective horror opening when it came to filming our final product. We altered our original idea due to the problems with using handycam to film the whole piece. We have reshaped the opening to it now being a boy who comes home in the late afternoon. His parents have left a note saying they've gone out and he is being watched by a stranger. The costume of the protagonist wore was just casual clothing so he would look like an ordinary teenage boy. We wanted to alienate our antagonist, so therefore we dressed him in all black and he wore a gas mask so he would seem inhumane and more threatening. We wanted our mise-en-scène to portray realism, such as the kettle, the interior design of the house and the ordinary activities that our protagonist carries out, for example riding a bike or playing video games. The way that we changed our whole concept from handycam to static shots definitely improved our piece as our shots look more professional.
We encountered a number of difficulties when it came to filming our preliminary task. Firstly, being able to sustain continuity editing. However, we managed to achieve this by extensive editing and ensuring that we had a wide variety of shots, such as pans, long shots, extreme close-ups and so on. Another difficulty we had was keeping characters in the centre focus during a pan shot. We ensured that we overcame this by doing multiple practice shots to familiarise ourselves with the equipment so that we could end up with the best result. Finally, trying to keep the lighting consistent was an issue we had and that we didn't fully resolve, but we did our best using the editing software provided.
Overall, we feel that our preliminary task went well as we included a large number of shots with a fast cutting rate, making it interesting and exciting. However, if we had more time, we could have produced even more and made it longer, although we knew we would be able to achieve this in our film opening product as we'd have more time to film and edit.
In our opening sequence, we also had a few difficulties. We found it difficult to find a soundtrack that fitted perfectly with our opening. Eventually we found one that worked with our piece, but we had to cut it down so it would tie in with our content, which didn't give the same effect. Another difficulty we came across was the fact that when it came to editing, we didn't have quite enough shots for our montage of our protagonist doing his daily activities. If we had more time, we would have filmed a lot more of these shots so there would be a faster cutting rate. This extreme close-up in our preliminary task creates enigma as all you can see is the actor's hands. We use this in our film opening to create enigma as it builds suspense and tension.
We used the handycam technique in our preliminary task and in our final piece. We did this because we feel it creates a sense of realism and also tension too.
We used low-angle close-ups in both our preliminary task and in our final film opening, as we felt that it gave more variety and made them more unique.
We used a bird's eye shot in both our preliminary task and in our final piece, because we felt that it gave a sense of diversity and also a feel of being watched.
We used fade to black transitions in both pieces at the end of the preliminary task and also to show the progressive time in our final opening.
In both pieces we used a soundtrack. We did this because we feel it creates atmosphere and also helps build suspense within the openings.